All right, now I've learned about your move and your goals. Let me show you something that most agents really don't understand, because once you understand this, you'll never let the wrong agent really price your home again. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Most agents really just guess at the price. They pull a few comparables, they average them together, they add a little cushion to them, and say, yeah, let's get it on the market for this, and then you just kind of hope and pray, right? Not the best strategy, right? That's how good sellers like you lose tens of thousands of dollars, not because your house is bad or there's something wrong with it. It's because their agent really doesn't understand how to create demand for your house. So I'm gonna draw for you right here. All right, so here's how this works. People tend to think in round numbers, but in real estate, it's more important, because what happens is the buyer's getting pre-approved for a monthly payment, not a loan amount. Then, based on today's interest rates, we take out our fancy calculator, we figure out what the maximum loan amount is, but it's never really a round number. But then we figure out what they can borrow from their parents and uncles, whatnot. That's the down payment. We add that to it. It never comes out to some number, but never a round number, right? But because the buyer's agent's human or close to it in most cases, they're never going to type in, 772,000 to $791,000, right? It's always going to end in a round number. So they're always going to be searching from like 750 to 800, 775 to 850, 775 to 825, something like that, right? So when you do business with me, we're always going to be priced just under one of those $25,000 price breaks. The only question is which one. So in any one of these slots, there's always a number of buyers swimming around interested in a house just like yours. Let's say there's 0 here. If there's 0 there and there's 5 here, if there's 5 here, there's 35 here. If there's 135 here, when you get down to $1, everybody's there. So the moral of that story is, when you get below that next slot, you don't get twice as many buyers. You get like 8 times as many buyers. All of a sudden, the floodgates open, tons of buyers. So that's the second point. So what that means is, if we're priced like right here and we're not getting enough showings, then you don't have to wonder where you're going. You just have to get all the way below that next $25,000 price barrier to reach even a single new buyer. A mistake you'll see all the time, like an agent will be asking, $812,000 to be priced right here, right? But think about it. If you're a buyer and you're willing to look at a house that's priced at $812,000, wouldn't you be willing to look at a house that's priced at $824,000? Of course you would. But if you fall in love with it, you're never going to offer $825,000, would you? All right, so my next point would be that nobody cares what we think. Have you ever noticed that? Most sellers and agents are very optimistic, and we pick a price that might be more than the market will command. Let's say you're thinking, we're both thinking your house is worth $825,000, but the two best buyers on the planet, they think it's worth $800,000. Does it really matter what we think? No, it does not. So we've probably both seen that homes, when they're listed here, they might end up selling for up there, or listed here and they end up selling down here. Isn't that undeniable proof that there's really no relationship between the asking price and the selling price? Yeah. So when you're choosing an asking price, you're not choosing how much you're going to sell it for, or else we just choose $1 gagillion and we'd all be gagillionaires, right? When you're choosing an asking price, you're not choosing how much you're going to sell it for, because that's already been decided by the market. So when you're choosing an asking price, you're not choosing how much you're going to sell it for, because you're choosing how long it will take to get what you're going to get, right? Have you ever been in an auction? I'm pretty sure most people have been to an auction or heard of an auction. What happens at an auction? Well, you start at a price of 0, and then you get a large group of people bidding against another group of people. Then you get a smaller group of people bidding against another group of people. Then finally get a few guys bidding against a few guys, and then finally you get one guy bidding against another guy, and then you got that one guy bidding against no guys, and that's how you get the highest price, right? So what do most agents do? Start with the highest price and no guys bidding against no guys, wait 3 months, and badmouth their realtor all over town. Just more irony in real estate. Anyways, I do recommend that we do have an auction, but I don't recommend that we start at $0. I recommend that we have 2 jobs and 2 choices. One of the jobs really is to sell the house, But it would be crazy to sell the house without knowing what top dollar is, right? So job number one really is to find top dollar. And there's only one way to really do that. And that's how we sell homes for more money in your pocket than any other way. And our system is really built to do one thing: create competition, drive urgency, and force buyers to overpay and be happy that they did. That's why my sellers net more money. So it's not because I'm lucky, it's because I have a proven system. So before you sign with anyone, ask them, how exactly are you going to create competition for my home? If they can't really answer that clearly, or if it's all about marketing and attracting people, you have your answer. And if you like, let's get together and get this thing done. Talk soon.